Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it's the 4th of March 2023. As usual, a favour if I could ask that please, and that's if you would subscribe to the channel. That'd be marvellous. Every subscriber helps, so please click the button if you would. Righty ho, today a bit of a, I suppose, slightly obscure one from all the way back in the good old Nawabum days. Band is Maineeaxe with the trick spelling, and their debut album Shout It Out. They were from Yorkshire, formed, I think it was about 1983, 1984, just before Shout It Out was issued. And they made a pretty good fist of things with this debut. It's quite a solid effort. Generally, it's hard, heavy, with all the Nawabum requirements of pacey riffing, big shout along choruses, and some pretty fine soloing going on in here as well. Quite chunky. So it's a more than worthy effort. Which and as well as the heavy stuff, the typical light new wave of British heavy metal style, they could throw in a bit of a slow burner ballad and a quite wonderful mini epic progressive metal, Steel on Steel. That song is really skillfully composed. It's got a lot of atmosphere going on, big cutting riff, changes of pace, and it's pretty progressive as well. Around about 7 minutes worth, excellent stuff. As for the rest of them, Run to the Angels is a big meaty opener, pumping along as it does. Bad Boy's pretty similar. Gonna Make You Rock. Now you don't have to imagine too much from the title of that this is a typically new wave of British heavy metal style, huge riff, no messing about, straightforward lyrics, and one of those big fist pumping choruses that have been must have been quite a highlight if played live. The audience must have really got into this one. The Game is the slow burner with a sort of a gentle start, some soulful vocals, and you might think, well, here's the ballad, here's the obligatory soul ballad, but it's really well written. It builds slowly, the momentum gradually gets more, and then later it bursts out into quite a fine rocker and some moody soloing. Really well done. I've already mentioned Steel on Steel. For me, that's the standout, and shows that Maineeaxe knew how to write the more ambitious, complex songs, as well as the straightforward, in-your-face Nawabum stuff. The title track's another of those fist-pumping, straight-ahead, enjoyable, no messing about, straight in-your-face jobs. I think, if I remember right, I might not be because I'm very old. I think the title track was a single that went down quite well in the Nawabum circles back at the time. And then the closing three, Cold as Ice, Rough Trade and Rock City, are no back numbers either. I believe Shout It Out's been quite hard to find on CD. I mean, I stumbled on this and the follow-up, Going for Gold, by accident when I was on Sonic Age Records trying to order something else, and saw that they had limited quantities of both CDs available, so I managed to snag them both. And when they arrived, I noticed that the label was Classic Metal, based in Brazil. The Sonic Age Records seem to have sold out. They're not listed there anymore. But on the Classic Metal Brazil label website, that they are still shown on there. I don't know what practicalities might be involved in getting something from Brazil. But I've also found that the digital versions on Amazon Music. So what I'll do, I'll put links in the description below to both Classic Metal Brazil, if you want to try and get a CD, or the Amazon Music version, if you prefer that. But anyway, so they'll be in the description box below. But as I say, overall, Shout It Out, very solid debut from Maineeaxe. Showed plenty of promise, enough promise indeed for the follow-up, Going for Gold, to come out the following year, I think that's 1985. And seeing as I was lucky enough to get a copy of that as well, I'll do a review of that probably in a day or two. But in the meantime, say links to the Classic Metal for the CD and Amazon Music for the digital version in the description box below. Please do subscribe to the channel before you go, that'd be marvellous. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.